I want to let you know today that most times in our life, we attract who we really are. It might seem to you that it's different, but that's the way that life really is. There's something about our attitude. Rarely do positive and negative people attract one another. People who see life as a series of challenges and opportunities don't want to spend time with people who complain about how bad life have been, how negative things have been, how time have been. Negative people find positive people often sometimes tedious and naive. You see, in life, there's something about our generation today. People tend to attract others of the same age. It is rarely you see people of 20 not being aggressive. You see, if you are 20 and aggressive, you find people willing in your age and wishing in your age, in the bracket of the age of 20, to be aggressive. Same with ministers. Same thing with businesses of a certain age that draws them. That's why in our churches, in our ministries, we've got to be careful of who we are actually trying to attract. This affects our background also. People of the same or similar background tend to attract one another. You will naturally resonate with people who have a similar funds or type of experiences and background. And that's why we want to see a story today. It's a story of David. It's a story of man who is attracted to a certain character and someone drawn to him. Also, this occurs in our values. People are attracted to leaders whose values are similar to their own. It doesn't matter whether or where the shared values are positive or negative. The attraction is always equally strong. See, whatever attracts you possesses you and will likely find in people who follow you. And that is why we have to pay attention to who we really are. Life experiences also matter. You see, you will naturally be attracted to people or things you have exposed yourself to over the time. This is where habits and what we do is consistent basics into our play. In leadership, people will attract who they really are. Their abilities, they are similar to your own. People follow leaders stronger than those of themselves. This affects how we think. It affects how we operate. You attract someone at a similar in style and ability as in yours. Reflecting through a story of Samuel and Abigail. Who you are is who you attract. If you want to attract better people, become a kind person you desire to attract. You see, the story of a great man in 1 Samuel chapter 25. In this story, we explain to you the reason why our attitude are probably the reason why some folks get drawn to us and some don't. This is a man that in his place, in his authority, he was going around. He already had a problem with Saul. And this is occurred when Samuel died. And the Bible says the entire people, they mourned for him. They cried. David left and he went down to a wilderness of Oparaocha. This is the place where Nabal and Abigail, they are residing. This great man, whose name is impounding in business and in possession and full of cayman. His man is rich. This man, the Bible said, had 3,000 sheep and thousands of goat, and he was sharing. He was basically operating in a higher level with sheep and with camel. This man have wealth. Naaman is rich, and the great wife named Abigail. But this man is a man that have not a tender heart. But Abigail was intelligent. Abigail was beautiful in appearance. But the Bible said, but he was connected to Nabal. See, David heard in the wilderness that Nabal had lots of wealth. So David sent 10 young men to go forward. He said, go you to what? And go to Carmel and go to Nabal And this is what he said to them. He asked them for something that is specific. He asked them that he's coming in peace. He asked for some little meal. He asked them to give them whatever that he can give to them so that they can be able to survive. You see, in this storyline I'm sharing with you, if you read all the way through 42, you will realize that David had some kind servants. David's servants were taking care of the whole people. They took care of Naboth's men. They took care of the sheep. They were kind. They were loving. And so David expected a recompense, an indirect way of love. He asked for them to ask if Naboth could help them. But Naboth rejected him. Naboth mocked David. Naboth laughed at David. He actually mocked him and said he was running away from his master. And who is this son of Jesse who is asking him for help? So this man took the message back to David. David was upset. David was angry. He was ready to go and finish up Naboth. He was just going to kill him. But a wise woman in the name of Abigail saw danger, and she stepped out. She said, let me go for a rescue. She cooked meal. She gathered donkey. She gathered men, and these are outside. The wickedness of Naboth. She stepped out. She went in, and she made, and she bowed, and she said, I come to you in peace. And she gave that food to David. David's reply was astounding. He said he was coming in to slaughter and to wipe out, and there should have been nobody left by morning. David, we know, is a man of war. David felt infuriated. David felt insulted. Remember, there is a man of war. First of all, he have to save face before his people. How many times have we tried to do something because we want to save face? But the wisdom is that this woman realized that the husband was foolish. This woman surrendered. She asked. She held the hand of David back. And David said that this woman was a woman of wisdom. You see, David got attracted to her, attracted to the gift, attracted to the grace. But you know what? God actually had a plan. God saw the kindness in this woman's heart. God saw her mind. At the end of the day, she saved the day. And David thought it was done. Few days later, this man was killed by God himself. He was struck dead. Now, I want to show you what kindness can do here. What kindness can do here, although this woman got married to a wicked man, God connected her to a man that had a good heart, that attract good things. You see, the people that were around David were people of kind spirit. They were people that are full of love. Because the men that served Naboth saw the goodness and kindness in this man. If you read the chapter, they were discussing, how will our master reject such kindness? Since what I want to tell you, and I want to close this, good things always attract other good things. At the end of the day, David, when Naboth died, David proposed to marry Abigail because he saw a jewel. He saw a blessing. You see, in the hand of Naboth, Abigail wasn't respected, wasn't seen. The worth of Abigail wasn't even shown. Most times in ministry, some people suffer because they are in a place where they could not function. You see, because Abigail interceded on behalf of Naboth, something great happened here in verse 18. You see, something great happened because now David realized the virtue in this woman's life. Good things attract other good things. David saw the impact of this woman's kindness, the love in her heart. This woman was willing to take a risk outside the compound, outside the husband, to go forth and surrender and bow. David saw all this great treasure. David sent the man to go and ask for her hand in marriage. Since what I want to conclude with this is this. who you are in your place of work, who you are in your place of business, who you are in the place of ministry is who you're going to attract. If all you see in people's life are nothing else but negative, there's a possibility that you're probably going to keep attracting those kind of people. If what you see when you move to a new city is what you saw in the last city, that's a possibility that's what you're going to attract. What we're asking you today is to amend your ways. The word is clear and set it clear to us. He that wants friend must make himself friendly. It's time to change our attitude, to change our thinking, and begin to emulate higher level of thinking. Begin to realize that who I want other people to see me as is what I'm going to give to them. The word is clear that God the Father gave his son. So we have to give something to attract something. You see, when Abigail bowed down, he came down, he worshiped. Now, when I mean worship here, that don't mean that she is worshiping David because he want to attract him. No, she was doing what she naturally would do. So if you want blessing, find and attract people similar or some of what you dream. You will attract that. I pray today the Lord will open your eyes to get this message, that you are who you are attracted to. God bless you. Bye-bye.